Hey friend, welcome or welcome back to the channel. I know you missed my face. I miss showing you my face too. So lately, I've been posting remote job opportunities, but on Monday, I realized that I've not equipped you with the tools you need to succeed in the world of remote work. You want to land a remote job? Well, so does everyone else. Remote jobs are very in demand these days, meaning they are very competitive. Think about it. Instead of battling local professionals in your country, you're up against the best talent across the globe. As such, your remote work resume has to be that much better in order to capture the attention of the hiring manager and get you a remote job invite like this one. And you will not get this invite with a resume looking like this. But fortunately for you, I've got your back. Because in this video, I'll teach you everything you need to know in order to create a compelling remote work resume. As the saying goes, you never get a second chance to make a good first impression. And your resume or CV, I'm a Nigerian, so I'll be using these words interchangeably. Yes, but they don't mean the same thing though. That's not what we're talking about today. Your resume or CV is your first opportunity to showcase your skills and experiences to potential employer. Why should you listen to me? Because I'm a professional resume writer. This is what I do and a human resource generalist. So on Monday, I made a post on my YouTube community tab for you to send in any questions that you may have on remote work resume writing or anything you'd like me to cover in the video. And some of you did, and I'll be answering some of those questions in this video. If I'm unable, like I said in the video I posted on Wednesday, to cover your questions, I will have to create another video to answer your questions because some of them were not really questions. I can recall one of you asked me to also talk about cover later, and I might not be doing that in this video. That's an entire video on its own. So if I'm unable to answer your questions in this video, I will create another video for you. But before I address your questions, let's dive into the purpose of today's video, which is creating a remote work resume. So let's get started. A resume or CV is not just a document listing your work history. It's a marketing tool that tells your professional story. An effective resume has a clear and organized structure. Now, let's break it down into different sections. First is your header. The header should include your first and last name, your contact details, which include your phone number, email address. If you don't have an official email address by now, you are wrong. Just go to Google, type Gmail, and sign up with your first and last name. If your first and last name is taken, be creative with it. You can use your first and last name underscore, or your first name underscore your last name, or underscore your first and last name. Don't use your date of birth, okay? All right, so moving on, the next thing that should be included on your header is your LinkedIn URL, your optimized LinkedIn URL. If you're watching this video, it's likely you're going to revamp your resume, meaning you need to optimize your LinkedIn profile as well. Because whether you include the URL on your CV or not, employers will always check you out on LinkedIn. Yes, so make sure to optimize your LinkedIn profile and add the URL to your CV. Next up is your address. You don't need to add your full address on your CV. Traditionally, your resume should include the city and the state. Say Port Harcourt, Rivers State, or you can use Lagos State, Nigeria. That's the state and the country. However, if you're applying for a remote position that doesn't have any specific location requirements, your physical address isn't as important. Therefore, you have a few options. You can still list your physical address, you can leave it off, or you can say something like working remotely. Okay, so that's it for the header. Before we proceed to the next section that should be on your resume, let's talk about choosing the right format. There are several resume formats, each with its strengths and suitability for different job seekers and career situations. But we have three main options, which are the chronological, functional, and combination. The combination can also be called hybrid. For remote job seekers, the combination format often works best. It allows you to showcase your skills and experiences while emphasizing your remote work abilities. Let me briefly explain the three. The first one is the chronological resume. This is the most traditional format. Yeah? If you're using this format, you need to list your work experience in reverse chronological order, starting with the most recent job. Next, you have to highlight your career progression and demonstrate stability. The chronological format is suitable for those with a consistent work history. Now, the functional resume focuses on your skills, qualifications, and achievements rather than a chronological work history. And it's suitable for career changes, those with employment gaps, or individuals with diverse skill sets. For functional resume, you need to emphasize your transferable skills and qualifications. If you don't know what transferable skills are, watch this video. I will leave the link in the description, okay? Now let's move on to the last one, which is the combination or hybrid resume. As the name implies, this combines elements of both chronological and functional formats. It showcases your skills and qualifications at the beginning, that's after your professional summary, followed by a reverse chronological list of your work experiences. The hybrid format offers flexibility to emphasize your skills while still providing a work history. That's it for choosing the right format. As I said earlier, the combination format is the best for remote job candidates. Now let's move on to the second section of your resume, which is your professional summary. The first section recruiters will really notice on your resume is your professional summary, and should be a 2 or 3 sentence long paragraph where you mention your job title and years of experience. For example, customer support professional with 6 years of experience in customer service and IT industry. Also, in your professional summary, you need to list your top skills and achievements and your professional goals. When done right, your resume will grab the recruiter's attention and get them to go through the remaining section of your resume. Okay, that's it for your professional summary. Now, the next section that you need to take cognizance of is your skills section. For your skills section, you want to highlight relevant skills that align with the remote position you are applying for. This is why you should not use one resume for all job openings. Don't do one for all. Don't do it. Always update your resume for each role you're applying for. It's also important that you include both technical and soft skills. For example, as a remote worker, you need to be comfortable with video conferencing, messaging, and using team and project management tools. You can even list the specific names of the different programs and softwares or tools that you are familiar with or you have experience using, like Zoom, Slack, Canva, Notion, Trello, Asana. Let's say the company you're applying to make use of all of these tools or some of these tools. This is likely to put the employer at ease knowing that, oh, she is capable of using these tools. This will take you from here to here. Now, about highlighting your relevant skills. You can either list them like this. I mentioned communication, adaptability and flexibility and marketing. Or you can use this format I use for some of my clients. Actually, it's dependent on the format or template I am using for a particular client. I can either list the skills as this one or write a sentence or two on the different skills like this one. Now, say communication, I wrote communicated new product developments to prospective and existing clients, resulting in a 10% increase in product adoption and market penetration. I particularly love this format because it doesn't just show the employer that you have the skills, it also shows the employers your impact. You've actually demonstrated these skills in your past experiences. I know what I'm doing. Another hack I have for you on the skill section is you should always go through the job description and check out the skills that are listed by the employer and include that on your resume. Only if you have those skills. Don't lie on your resume. I don't recommend it. Don't do it. But if you have those skills that are listed, pick them and add them to your resume. This will optimize your resume for the ATS, Applicant Tracking System. You don't know what ATS is? I got you. Watch this video. Now let's move on to the fourth section of your resume, which is your work experience. Your work experience section is the most crucial part of your resume. Here, the hiring manager wants to see that you are not just any job seeker. They want to see that you are an A player. And simply listing out your duties, your responsibilities won't do. In this section, list your work experience in reverse chronological order. I mentioned this earlier. Start with your most recent work experience. Mention your role first, the company name, and location. I did not add that. Location. You can use just the state. Let's say Rivers State. Rivers. Is Rivers, Abby? Rivers. Funny. Rivers State. Okay. And then the dates. For the date, only the month and year will do. If it's your recent experience, use January, let's say January 2019/present. And a concise description of your responsibilities and achievements. The emphasis is on achievements, not your responsibilities. You don't need to list your responsibilities or achievements up to 10 bullet points. Just use 3 to 4. For recent positions, you can use just maybe 4. And then for older positions, just use 3. If any of these were remote, make sure to mention them as well. Let me show you what I mean. For instance, your recent experience is a remote position. This is where you fix it. After sales officer, which is your role, open bracket, close bracket, you say remote. Okay, so for your achievements, use numbers to back up your achievements, to highlight your impact. Quantifying your achievements can really take your resume from good to great. Reading something like increased company client base from 3 to 7 within a year will be much more convincing to recruiters than managed to get more clients or I was responsible in getting more clients. Take advantage of action verbs like collaborated, created, conceptualized, formulated, pioneered. Okay? Again, when listing your work experiences, make sure to list any remote job positions or any remote roles you've held in the past, even if it was a freelancing gig. Also highlight your ability to collaborate virtually, meet deadlines, and produce results from anywhere, because that's the point. Okay, friend, if you're finding value in this video, kindly give this video a thumbs up. And if you're yet to subscribe to the channel, I hope you make the decision to do so. Because on this channel, I am here for you. I am dedicated to bringing to you educative, inspiring, and empowering content like this one you're watching now and other videos on the channel. So I hope you make the decision to subscribe to the channel and stay with me by turning on the notification bell so you get notified each time I post content on the channel. Let's move on to the 5th section that should be on your resume, which is your education. For your education, all you need to mention is the name of the university, your course of study, and your degree. If you have an MSc, you should start with that, followed by your BSc or BA. Don't add your secondary school qualification, your high school qualification. Don't add your primary school qualification to your resume. Take those off. Delete. Click and delete. Control D. Okay? The 6th section is your professional qualification or certification, if you may. If you have any professional qualification or training you've done, maybe physically or virtually, this is where you highlight them. Up next is your projects and portfolio. If applicable, showcase any notable projects or a link to your online profile. If you want to learn how to create a portfolio for yourself, watch this video. I told you, I've got you. No, there's no next section. That's it. I know you're waiting to hear reference available on request or references, and then you go reference available on request. Do not add that to your resume, except it's a specific requirements from the hiring manager. If it's not, you're just wasting space. Hey friend, if you've watched till this point, I have something for you. Yes. So I will be reviewing your resume for free. Okay, yes, for free. But this offer is limited and just for 10 persons. once I've gotten 10 subscribers, we are out. I am not going to include this in the description. I am not going to include this in the comment section. So it's only for those who have actually watched this video to this point. Having said that, when you click the link in the comments, as I said, I am not going to write this in the description or in the comment. When you click the link in the pinned comment, you will see review. Click on review and send your resume. This is just for my subscribers and for you who have watched this video to this point. Okay, so let's move on. Keep watching. Before I address your questions, this is how you should format your resume. Set 1-inch margins on all 4 sides. Use 11 or 12 point resume font and stick to it. I prefer 11. Use bullet points to highlight your responsibilities and achievements. I said that already. Be consistent with your resume formatting. Stick to the same date format. For example, if you're using 11/2022, stick to it. If you're spelling it out, November 2022, stick to it. Next, use single or 1.15 line spacing. Add an extra space before and after each section heading. Make sure your resume is as long as it needs to be. A pager resume that highlights your impact and achievements will get you results than a 3-page resume packed with job duties and responsibilities. Don't use photos on your resume unless the job description specifically asks for them. You're looking for a job, not a date. Now let's address some of your questions. So this was the post I made asking you to send in your questions. Let's take them one after the other. They're not much, so stay with me. All right, so this person said, thank you, much needed. You're welcome. All right, what should be included in the CV? I'm sure the video have answered that question. Okay, please add cover letter also. For this request, I am going to create another video. This is a video on its own. So Faith, I hope you're subscribed to the channel and I hope that you've turned on your notification as well. Up next is, can a Nigerian get a good paying remote job without having experience? Okay, is it that you don't have experience working remotely or you don't have a work experience at all, even on site? Let's say it's the former, you don't have experience working remotely. Yes, as a Nigerian, you can get a remote job without experience working remotely. This also falls back to the kind of roles you're applying to. You need to apply to roles that you have a skill set on. Don't apply to a data analyst's role when you know you don't have any skill or expertise in that area. You can start with remote job opportunities that don't really require any experience at all because they're going to train you. Watch this video or this video and apply to those roles that don't require prior experience. So it's really not about being a Nigerian. It's about identifying the skills you have and seeking roles that align with your skill set, and also applying to roles that don't require any prior experience. I have a number of videos on the channel for that. Next, the last one is CV formats for Canadian job market. If you follow the step-by-step process I just gave to you, it's applicable to the Canadian job market, the UK job market as well. So if you're seeking remote job opportunities, I have a playlist for you. Revamp your resume and apply. I am rooting for you. If you find value in this video, kindly give it a thumbs up. Share with your friends and families. Thank you so much for watching this video. To this point, I appreciate you. I will see you on Wednesday.